This podcast is supported by patrons. You can find a full list of them in the description of this episode. Hello, listeners and viewers of Good Morning BSS World podcast. This is Wiktor Doktor talking to you from Warsaw, and today I am connecting with other Polish city on the south of Poland, the city of Krakow, where my special guest is located. This guest is Taras Tovstiak. Hi, Taras, how are you?
Hello, Wiktor. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am very, very good, and I'm very happy to have you on my show. So let our listeners and viewers get to know you a little bit better. You are representing the company named Itera. So tell us about your role within Itera.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Taras Tovstiak. I'm leading Central and Eastern European operations for Itera. So in this role, I'm leading the offices based in Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Ukraine. And I'm in the IT industry for about 20 years now. Worked in different global companies and looking forward to have a great time with you.
Thank you very much. So this podcast we are recording in partnership with IT Ukraine Association, and as always, we do start with a short view on the updates, what is happening in IT industry in Ukraine. We did actually exchange some thoughts before we clicked the record button today, and I know that this conversation is going to be a little bit wider than Ukraine alone, so we will cover a little bit wider area. How is it in Ukraine and in the Central Eastern Europe?
Yeah, thank you, Wiktor. And I was preparing for the podcast and had a small talk with my wife. She asked what will be the topic, and I said, well, the topic will be about how IT industry is navigating through the current challenges and embracing opportunities in this times. And then the question from her was, but are there any challenges? Is there any crisis in IT industry, or is there any economic crisis? Was it announced at all? And my question to you, Wiktor, will be, how do you see that? Do you think that there is a challenge in the times, and is there something to worry about? What's your experience?
Thank you for that. So today, the conversation, our listeners and viewers is going to be like ping pong. So this is me who is asking questions, but Taras is doing it as well. So answering to your question, Taras, I believe that we are having at least interesting times nowadays. It was like 2 years ago when some challenges in the IT world has started to be more visible than they were before. Because if we take a look into the history, the IT was performing extremely well. The industry was growing. It was present in every continent in our world. The processes, the products, the services which were being provided by the IT industry were like everywhere available, growing. The cash was great. And then 2 years ago, something has started to happen, and the market was starting to be a little bit shrink down. So, yes, I do believe we are in maybe not in a crisis. Crisis is a hard word, but I believe we are in a challenging times. We do face a lot of changes within the companies. We do see that the companies are merging one with another, and we also see that some kind of a work is being transferred from Europe to other countries. How long is it going to take? I don't know how to even predict this, but definitely there are some changes within the IT industry, not only in the software development, but basically in the wider IT world.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Thank you for your explanation. And what I'm noticing, and I really like your definition of interesting times, not problems, not crisis, but interesting times, definitely. So what we are observing is that, especially within the last 2 years, for example, if we are looking at layoffs in IT industry, in tech community, that's probably around 200,000 during last year alone. And we are looking at the vacancies, for example, and the number of candidates for one vacancy is growing significantly. So some vacancies we have even we see that the number of candidates doubled over the last year. There are, of course, positive sides of these interesting times. We all see how technology is thriving. So we all are observing how AI is developing. We see the trends with this low code, no code technologies. And so on. We see that the rise of new business models, new industries. So I think that to be open for this discussion, to be frank, we need to consider both challenges and opportunities that these times are bringing for us. So I would say, we need to keep our eyes open and look for new opportunities in these times. That's definitely here agree.
Yeah, I believe that challenges always create opportunities, and once we have opportunities, they create challenges. Yeah, so it's like ups and downs all the time. Uh, so let's maybe move to your field, to the field of Itera. You mentioned that you are present in the tech business for 20 years already, but when Itera started, when was the start for this company?
Well, Itera started business about 30 years ago, and that's a Norwegian company, originally started in Oslo. And now we are present in 8 countries. That's throughout Northern Europe and also Central Eastern Europe. So the headquarter of the company is based in Oslo, and we have the offices in Sweden, Denmark, and Iceland, as well as here in Central Europe. That's Ukraine, Poland, and Czech Republic and Slovakia. So altogether, we are about 800 people today, spread across those locations, providing digital consulting services for the businesses all over the world.
So let's go a little bit deeper within this scope of the services which you are providing. So the whole story started in the Nordics. So it's Norway as the very beginning. Then the company was growing through other countries, opening your operational activities. But I do imagine that your clients are coming from much more destinations than those 8 countries where you are present at the moment. But before we touch the client phase, let's take a little bit deeper look on the scope of the services which you are providing.
We are providing digital consulting services. So that's a full cycle of consulting services, starting from the early stages of customer journey in digital world, like helping them to define the digital strategies, helping with the business and service design, and then moving into the implementation phases. As soon as the digital strategy is defined, then we are making together the decisions about building the software products and then implementing those solutions, and of course helping them to support the business as soon as the products are in productions, they are released. We are also providing the support services for the customers. And you are right that we are working with the companies globally. So currently that's the geography of our customers is across the globe. That's about 20 countries globally. That the majority of them, of course, are coming or are headquartered in Northern Europe. So that's where originally even the company is coming from. And then, of course, the global corporations that are present both in Europe and across the globe as well.
And if we touch now this Ukrainian, let's say, element of your business. So in Ukraine, in which cities you originally are running your activities?
We are based in Kyiv and Lviv. So historically, Kyiv was the first location for the company abroad from Norway. So that was the first location, the first office established in 2008. That's where the company started its kind of nearshore journey. And the idea was, to go to the region that can provide the scalability for the company, where they can find the great talents, and where there is really a good pool of talented resources. And if we are looking at the region from the wider perspective, I mean the Central Eastern Europe, and we can simply count few countries. We can adopt the number of people involved in the IT industry. For example, Poland, that's about 500,000 of people involved in IT. Ukraine, 300,000. Czech Republic, 130. Slovakia, 55. So altogether, that's about 1 million of tech experts, and that's on the region of about 100 million people. So that's really high, the percentage of people involved in tech industry. So if we compare ourselves to the other regions of the world, that's really high. So sometimes people are comparing, for example, to India, where we have about 3 million tech experts, and that's on the population on 1.5 billion. So we can say that we are in the region of really skilled and great talented people that are involved in IT industry. So yeah, that's how the story started in Ukraine. So from Kyiv, and nowadays we have about 300 experts in Ukrainian offices in those two locations, in Kyiv and Lviv. And we are also present in Central Eastern Europe, here in Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia.
So I am in Poland. You are in the Polish office as well as for today. So the question probably is not a surprise. How is Poland doing on this map? So how big is your presence in Poland?
Poland is a fairly new location, so we started our entity here in 2020, end of 2022. So that's a fairly new location, but it is growing really fast. So last year we doubled operations in Poland, and at the moment we are about 30 people in Krakow, and working also remotely. So Polish office is doing great job, as well as other new locations like the one in Czech Republic and Slovakia as well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I heard some time ago that basically the Central Eastern Europe is this part of the world where actually providing various scope of the IT services is being considered to be really strong one.
Yeah, it is. And if we are analyzing, if you look from the customer perspective, what customers are usually looking for in Central Eastern Europe, that's really skilled, talented people, and that means that if there are challenging projects, for example, that quite challenges in services, Central Eastern Europe, that's the first destination where people are looking at. And we are succeeding in this from this perspective. We are able to deliver really complicated type of services and really challenging projects for our customers. And another advantage, of course, for Central Eastern Europe, that's the culture fit, especially for the European customers. That's geographical proximity. So we are in Central Europe now, and I can reach any customer, any of European customer, within 1.5 up to 2 hours flight. And that's a big advantage, because you don't have this time difference. You have this really proximity to the customer. So now, after pandemic, they are really eager to again travel and visit us, and the same our teams. So that's a great advantage for us.
It's good that you mentioned clients and customers. So let's take a little bit deeper view on that. What kind of industries do represent your clients and your customers?
Yeah, Itera, we are technology experts, and so usually when we are introducing ourselves, we say that we are industry agnostic. So we are, first of all, our main expertise is in technology, and then Of course, there are historical industries which we define as our, let's say, core specialization, and that's first of all, that's financial domain, banking and financial industry, and the second domain, that's energy. And what we are observing within the last about 3 years, I would say, is the growing demand for from coming from the energy industry. That's the industry that is thriving now, and I see the great opportunities there. We are also present in a public domain, in especially in Nordics, and there are, of course, some other industries from retail side, from the manufacture and production, and so on. But those two are probably our core and main specialization.
And when you do work for a certain client, is it like that you are providing the full scope of the services from one of your operation centers, or you are providing it from various locations where you are present?
Yeah, and that's a good question, and especially in terms of, I would say, after COVID times. So we see the some kind of shift in this from this perspective, because it was quite obvious before pandemic times that customers were requesting, for example, operations in one location. So they our standard model is, we call it hybrid mode, when we have people that are based on site, that are close to the customer. So for example, we have people in Norway, in the other Scandinavian countries, and they are speaking the same language. They are visiting the customer in their offices. They are working directly with the customer. And then, Central Eastern Europe is used to scale the team. So that's the hybrid mode, which is the primary type of collaboration with our customers. And we see that, during COVID-19 times, there was quite a significant shift, even from this dimension. So the customers that were, for example, quite cautious about working with one locations, or having teams only on site, are much more open to this distributed collaboration now. So now the majority of our customers are working with the remote teams. Of course, some of the engagements require being on site. Some of the engagements require, speaking the same language, and so on. But the distributed delivery is the main engagement model for the moment. With some countries, even for example with Iceland, we are completely in remote mode, because we have the representatives in Icelandic office, but all the deliveries are done from the remote locations from Central Eastern Europe.
You mentioned that some of your customers require communication in the same language. So I can imagine you are quite multicultural and multinational team.
Yeah, we are, and that's a really big advantage, because on one side you can say that, okay, we are all in Europe, and we are close culturally, we have the same values. But then the devil is in details, and you can see the real impact of different cultures when you're working in the multinational teams. And so for example, we have uh, people in Nordics, then we have the teams here in Central Eastern Europe, and there are always some cultural differences, and what is special about the company, that this, Norwegian, or I would say Scandinavian culture is in our DNA. And what is special about this culture is that, that's very people centric culture. When, the everyone cares about people, your opinion matter in whatever position you have, that there is lack of this vertical structures, and so on, organizational structures. So everyone feels equal in the organization, and that's important, because what's specific about our culture here in Eastern Europe, we are quite direct. We can openly say to our customers that something is going wrong, and that's what they value a lot. So what we are noticing from the feedback that we are getting from the customers, that's probably the value number one that they are getting from collaboration with us, that we can challenge them. So they are really recognizing that as a big value. And that's important when you're working in this multicultural environment. You can get the best from different cultures, and then that's an additional advantage for your customer.
So let's take a look now a little bit maybe into the future. So we already know when you started, who you have on board, what kind of services you provide, how your team is being structured, and so on and so on. We already know that the current customer base is mainly Northern, Eastern, Western Europe, and also the States. What are the future plans for Itera? Are you going to develop further within those regions, or maybe you are thinking about going deeper into other continents, for example, like the Middle East, for example, or Arabic countries?
Yeah, I would say that that's the nice question that you touched, that because we see that we are really well recognized in Northern Europe, where we are originally from. The company is public in Norway. We are well recognized. We are one of the largest and one of the leaders in Scandinavia. And what we are also looking for is to how we can expand our services, our great value proposition to other countries and other markets. And now we are actively looking into new markets. So, for example, we are considering the UK and German market as the next destination. So those that are the closest to our main markets at the moment. And of course, why not? We can extend our services to Northern America or Asia. But the UK and Germany is probably the first destination, and we are now actively penetrating into those markets. And speaking about the future, from the technology side, and based on also current realities and current request that is coming from the market, we see the tendency that especially big customers are now are now looking into efficiency as the top priority. I would say I see that based on our experience, based on what I see from the market, more and more customers are running different types of cost optimization, efficiency, and so on, different types of programs. And that's where the companies like us need to also have the response to that. Some of the some of the competitors or some of the companies from IT industry, they are opening the new offices, for example, in low cost destinations to to actually cope with this request for efficiency. uh, in our case, our response, the first response that we are having, is to develop the value proposition, the proper value proposition for the market. So, for example, one of our strategic initiative in the company is the value proposition called Digital Factory at Scale. That means that we are combining technologies, the platform approach, with the processes, with standardizing the processes, with our one Itera approach, when we are consolidating efforts across our locations to achieve this efficiency for the customer. So that's already proven about 30 to 40% optimization for our key customers, and that's why we see the future. That's the value proposition we are actively promoting to the market now. So that's one example. And then, the second one is, of course, everyone is talking about AI. And you might also hear the question, whether AI is the threat for the IT industry, whether AI will replace software developers or QAs and so on. And for me, the answer is quite simple. AI itself will not, but the engineer or software developer with AI will definitely replace the software developer without AI. So that's why, instead of spending time on asking difficult questions or challenging each other, we need to adopt those technologies fast. And that's another strategic direction that we have in Itera, is that we already released the AI platform called Sapiens for internal use first, and that's saving us quite a lot of time and increases efficiency of our engineers. And now we are also offering this platform to our key customers, and that becomes the part of value proposition on the market. And I think that's the answer for other IT companies. So you need to adopt your value proposition to the market request, to market needs, actually.
I like the name Sapiens. This sounds really nice. Okay, Taras, did we miss anything from our conversation?
Yeah, well, one maybe addition to what we discussed, I would say, uh, maybe my suggestion for IT industry is to be flexible and creative. So and by flexibility, I mean that we need to analyze what really matters for us, and we need to look into our core values and core assets that we have, and that's in majority of cases that's our people and our customers. So of course, efficiency matter, of course cost optimizations matter for the tech industry, but your people are your asset. And when you have some possibilities, for example, you have some people available on the bench, try to use this as an opportunity. So in our case, we are developing, for example, so-called R&D lab within the company. And then as soon as we have people available, we are working on different ideas. And our approach to this is to look at that as to startups. So imagine that you are investing, that's your internal investment, and you are analyzing what the outcome should be. And then this should be either something valuable for your customer that you can later use to offer to increase your value proposition, or this can increase efficiency of your company. And instead of cutting everything and cutting all the costs, look at that as an opportunity. Like we said, we are in interesting times where you have this opportunities on the market. You just need to keep your eyes open, I would say. And of course, people will remember the challenging times, and times of development, and the way you behave, the way you communicate both to your customers and to your people matters a lot in this situation. So that's one suggestion that I would that we are practicing ourselves, and I would recommend to other companies. Make sure that you are human centric and customer centric organization. That matters a lot. And then on the customer side, make sure that you understand the customer needs when they are asking for efficiency, when they are looking into new areas, when they are maybe even lacking some resources or some areas of expertise. Be the partner for the customer. So we are not just vendor that executes what the customers say, but we are partnering with them and consulting, and we are looking how we can increase their value proposition and increase their success on the market. So that would be also my suggestions to the companies. And based on our experience, it really works, because then the customer really recognizes when you are able to challenge them, to help them identify new opportunities and increase their value on the market. And look at the market from the also, because we touched this topic of focusing on some particular industries, and I see that industries like energy, we touched energy, for example, are developing a lot. So this war in Ukraine and all the challenging times that Europe was experiencing over the last 3 years, it led to the necessity to increase the security, and it includes also energy security. And we see the growing demand, for example, in renewable industry. We see the growing demand in flexibilities market, in wind, in the solar energy, and all of that. All of this, new businesses, new business models, they are combining physical and digital world. And for IT companies, for technology companies, that's the big opportunity. That's the ability to show the technological excellence and help the market actually thrive. That's where we also need to look at that as an opportunity rather than challenge.
We started with challenges and opportunities, and we finish with challenges and opportunities. And also, I have put a note in here to be flexible and creative, but I will add to that one more thing. And this thing is be precise and accurate. And what I have in mind in that is asking you the last very question. If somebody wanted to get to know more about Itera, where would you direct such person?
Well, if you are based in our in the locations where we have the physical offices, you are always welcome in our offices here. If you are listening us from Poland, welcome to our office in Krakow. You are always welcomed in our office. If you can would like to reach us, online, feel free to contact me or my colleagues in LinkedIn. So I hope that we can also leave our contact details after this recording. And of course, always interesting to exchange the thoughts, exchange the ideas, and that's always the big value for us.
I will definitely add the links to this podcast. So, our listeners and viewers, if you would like to get in touch with Itera or with Taras, then just take a look on the description of this podcast, and all the required links are over there. Taras, thank you very much. It was a very interesting conversation, not touching only your company, but wider the challenges and opportunities which lie in the IT world in the Central Eastern Europe, but probably not only, because IT is a global industry. So something what is happening in here probably has similar challenges and opportunities all over the world. So thank you very much for today.
Thank you for invitation, Wiktor, and thanks for a great discussion.